Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this week we are talking about a pop emergency. Something really big is happening in the pop world, and that is Miss Adella. She is the new pop princess, and of course I'm obsessed with everything that she's been doing. She just closed out her first solo headlining tour, getting comparisons to 2008 Lady Gaga on the cusp of greatness and getting co-signed by some amazing artists out there, including Demi Lovato, who she just announced she will be going on tour with next year. I've been watching Adella all year, and seriously her rise has been everything, and more people are taking note, but I really want to chronicle her journey. But in order to start, we need to go back to the beginning, where she was first thrust into the public eye on television on a show called Dream Academy. On September 1st, 2023, Adella Dragova was introduced to the world as one of 20 contestants on the show, the debut Dream Academy. That is when it premiered, and it was created by Hybe and Geffen Records with the goal of forming a stunning girl group, one we now know as Cat's Eye. But they really wanted to take all of these girls that were extremely talented, that were from all across the world, throw them into a boot camp and try and form the perfect girl group. They wanted to find a way to bring the K-pop machine into the United States and really use that formula that has worked so well in Korea over the years. With this idea being revealed by Hybe in 2021, they really gave themselves time to host an open casting search that spanned the entire globe. Over the course of 2 years, 120,000 people applied, and it was reduced down to only 20 competitors that were flown out to Los Angeles to come be on the show. Adella's background made her honestly perfect for this. She was born in Slovakia, but began taking ballet lessons in Moscow when she was 3. She also then started to teach herself English by watching American television programs at age 8. And she was always interested in vocal production, really learning to comp and produce her own vocals just by watching videos of people do it. As a kid, she also moved to Vienna to join the Vienna State Ballet. And after that, she moved to London to audition for the English National Ballet School. She was truly a child of the world, and she had been honing her craft from a very young age. Like, she knew she was destined for something, and she was prepping her entire life for this breakthrough. Unfortunately, she was part of the first pair to be eliminated from the show. Each week they competed in missions, and the first one was they were broken up into 4 separate groups, and her group had to do a dance cover of Pink Venom by Blackpink, and it just wasn't what the fans were wanting. So she did not get enough votes to continue on in the competition. And side note, the contestants didn't know that this was a fan-voted television show until they were there, which is really confusing. And I want to get into this, but not really, because it happened a while ago and there was a lot of discourse surrounding it. But since all of these girls came from across the world, a lot of them kind of had people from their country standing behind them and voting for them. So they already had a lot of votes in the bag each week, no matter what they did. And Adella didn't necessarily have that. So that was another reason why she ended up going home first. Not because she wasn't serving and giving, but because her kind of baseline of votes was already going to be smaller than some of the other contestants. So anyway, that airs. Adele is one of the first to leave. And it seems like that is that. Except in 2024, Netflix actually released a show titled Popstar Academy Cat's Eye, which was actually all of the behind the scenes that went on while they were filming Dream Academy. And it shed a lot of light into some of the situations that went on with the girls and how they were really coping with this huge competition and this life change. Adella was prominently featured in the first 5 episodes, and actually she herself has said that she did not realize that she was going to be such a big part in the Netflix show, but it really changed the public perception of her, and not in a good way at first. She was a very vocal contestant, and they did have time to talk to a psychologist while there, and she was frustrated with the way that people were voting. She was like, even if people aren't working as hard as me, they're still gonna get their votes, and that pisses me off. That makes me mad. In the show, we also got to see a little bit of a conflict between Adella and Manon, one of the Cat's Eye members who maybe wasn't always working the hardest. And while Adella wasn't the only person to call her out, Adella was the only person to really get heat for it on social media. But since everyone's kind of on good terms, I don't want to get too much into that, but I do want to talk about the fact that those things that Adella were saying behind the scenes on the show were really negatively impacting the way that the public was perceiving her at the time. However, it also showed us some of the behind the scenes of Adella's philosophy towards this entire thing, and she really wasn't meant to be in a girl group. She would tell you that, and I think going through the process made her realize that she was always meant to be a solo artist. One of the biggest things that she kind of voiced was she wants to stay true to herself, and her individuality is really important to her. So having to conform to a group to be a cohesive unit was something that maybe she was not wanting or willing to do as much as some of the other girls. Viewers really criticized her for being selfish, but I think it was just her really knowing what she wanted, and that is the difference. Like, she wasn't being selfish. She was figuring out in real time how she wanted to showcase her art, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And even she has said this in interviews, but being eliminated first was really a blessing in disguise. All of the girls in Cat's Eye should absolutely be there, and Adella should absolutely be a solo artist. She did not want to give up any sort of creativity or creative control to conform to a group, and I totally get that. And now everyone's kind of doing everything amazing in their own lane, so it all worked out as it should have. Right after the Netflix show aired, Adella was ready and primed with some solo music to release in October of 2024, and that is when she released her first single, Homewrecker. It's interesting because she timed this release perfectly, and it seemed like she had come up with this song overnight, but that is not the case. It took her about a year to really nail down the sound that she wanted to put forth to the world, and really find the best collaborators to help bring that creative spark out of her. Fresh off of Dream Academy, she knew that she wanted to pursue music. She picked up and already moved to LA, so it was just a matter of finding the right people around her. She revealed she originally started writing indie pop music, and that is just like not... Knowing what we know now, it's just like that was not the right lane, and she even felt it. She left the show not really having a clear vision of what she wanted or even who she even was as a person. She kind of let the show dull her sparkle in a way that she needed to find before really taking the world by storm. So during that time, she also went back to high school, got her GED, and started going to music school in Los Angeles. But in June of 2024, she met her current collaborator, Liam Bennion, at a writing camp, and really the rest was history. The two have worked on all of her songs so far together, and she said after that initial meeting, everything just completely flowed out. Like, she had this clear-cut vision once they wrote Homewrecker together, and she hasn't looked back. That song also got the attention of a lot of other artists, Grimes specifically, who we'll get back to later, but she was turning heads from the start. Leading up to the release of her debut EP, The Provocateur, she released a couple other singles, Superscar and Machine Girl, both of which I'm obsessed with. Like, I love both of those songs. And just taking a moment for both of these tracks, Machine Girl was actually produced by Grimes. After seeing how talented Adella was on her debut, Grimes really wanted to help out, and she helped produce Machine Girl, starred in the music video alongside Adella and Sophia Wiley. And in an interview, she explained all of these singles were kind of connected. Everything that she was doing for her debut project was basically creating this book, and each song was a chapter to chronicle a different part of her life, not directly, but the fictional character's life that she was creating. In May of 2025, she announced that she had signed with Capitol Records, and followed up by releasing her fourth single, Death by Devotion, which was a song really dedicated to her growing up in ballet and how hard and how strenuous that was for her. Fast forward to August of 2025, she released her debut EP. The Provocateur is Adella's first EP, but also first long project as an artist, and I was literally blown away. She actually had to push back the release date because she came up with this amazing song, Sex on the Beat, at the very last minute, so she had to film a music video for that and push the release 1 week so that way that could be on it. And thank God she did, because this music video is actually what has gotten a lot of people to notice her now. Her dancing is on full display here, her vocals are amazing, and I think that this song has really spoken to so many people in the pop world to really showcase what Adella does that other people don't. You can also tell Capitol Records has really put some stake into her. They let her kind of take over their social media in this like fake, hacked guerrilla marketing campaign, and they're also putting her face on LED trucks around the world, really leaning into this fun marketing. And they're not doing that for all their artists, especially people who haven't really debuted and aren't necessarily battle tested in the industry. So that's a really good sign that they're throwing a lot of money at her. And after this release, her star began to rise even more. It led to her first headlining tour, The Provocateur, which I love that name, by the way. And it had a very limited amount of shows in extremely small venues, but it was very reminiscent of 2008 Lady Gaga playing like all over New York City and just waiting for that big break. I mean, a video of Lady Gaga actually resurfaced from 2008 where she's performing Love Game in a stairwell because there was no stage at this party that she was supposed to play at. And it reminded me of Adella, and a lot of other people were making this comparison that like she's very hungry and she's doing the work, playing the small venues and not expecting to just sell things out right away. It's just like she knows that she is on the cusp of greatness and she is putting in all of this work and throwing all of her passion into what she loves to really get there. And I love when I see an artist do that. She also did the MTV Push performance and an interview with them. A lot of people also really enjoyed that. It really showcased her dancing and her live vocals, and she is a complete package, and some of these performances are really showing that. and people are living. Her tour kicked off in October. It literally just finished. It was very, very short, as I had said, and I think a lot of people weren't really sure what to expect at first because no one knew how she was going to perform live as a solo artist. And I think the test of a great entertainer is someone who can command a room with just themselves. And Adella gets on that stage with a ballet bar, and she sings her heart out for a little over an hour, and everyone is captivated from start to finish. That is how you know what she's doing is meaningful and worthwhile and honestly great. She doesn't have backup dancers. She has a microphone, her ballet shoes, and a dream. And everyone is eating up every single second. Like, she is playing her 7 songs. She's playing some unreleased songs. She's doing covers. I mean, she's covering Touch It by Ariana Grande. Thank you so much, Adella, because we all know Ariana Grande will never sing that song live again. So she's doing the Lord's work with that. But prove to other people that she's got it. I've always seen that she's had that it factor, but I think her doing this tour has proven to the music industry and the masses that she does. Recently, Demi Lovato has co-signed her. Her Troye Sivan and Rachel Sennett went to her LA show, and it was just announced that she'll be joining Demi on an arena tour in 2026. And we all know what happens when an opening act gets exposure to big rooms like that. I mean, we just saw it happen with Zara Larsson and Tate McRae. I mean, people were going to a Zara Larsson and Tate McRae concert. It got so big. So I feel like something similar is going to happen with Adella. I mean, Olivia Dean opening for Sabrina Carpenter. Like, we're about to see a major rise because an opening act can really open a lot of doors. As Adella's first tour came to an end, she also posted on social media thanking everyone for coming, but she did say this is the first and last time that she'll be playing rooms that small, and I have to agree. And I agree with her that she's not being arrogant saying that. It's just the truth. She believes and knows that she's on the cusp of a huge breakthrough, and I don't think that she's gonna be playing small venues moving forward. I mean, the venues she was playing were like max 500 capacity. Like, they were very, very tiny. So it's really only up from here, but I think that after opening for Demi next year and releasing her album, the sky's the limit. And that kind of takes us to now. Everything is pretty much blown up in the last couple months, and Adella now is going to be working on her album ahead of going on tour starting in April with Demi. So I really hope that she takes the time to hone this first album and really get down everything she wants to do. Not just the music, not just the production, but how she wants to roll it out, because I feel like it could be so special. I mean, an album rollout means everything these days, especially with social media. So I really want her to take her time and develop this concept of how she wants to show her art to the world, because it can be insanely good for her. I'm gonna be here, of course, every step of the way. I'm going to be seeing her in Charlotte opening night of the Demi Lovato tour, and I wonder if she's going to sing any new music. But I don't have this feeling like that often with an artist where I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait to see what they do next, and I feel like they're about to explode. I had it with Chapel, and that was so exciting for me to watch. I don't think Adella's will be as quick, but I think that it will be as big if she plays her cards right. But I'm really interested in your thoughts, and seriously, if you don't know who I'm talking about, you need to stop what you're doing and go stream Adella. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. But have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.